life gives you a lemon, you make lemonade out of it.
Very pleased to have you here. Need you to be a part of our country.
Ken is very intelligent.
Arriving in the U.S. in 1977 as a factory worker, he went on to earn degrees from the University of Colorado and dual master's degrees from the prestigious Stanford University.
He's had an upward trajectory in his life, which has been very impressive and a great example for a lot of people.
I had a magic key. It's called education. I didn't want to give up.
Having settled in the U.S. and being one of the successful Vietnamese businessmen in the U.S., Phạm Đức Trung Kiên has chosen to devote to education in Vietnam for more than 20 years now. The light has faded in his eyes, but the light of hope has been lit on for hundreds of young Vietnamese scholars having the chance to study abroad or the visually impaired accessing educational services. What are some of the inspiring stories behind that? We'll get some in our Talk Vietnam today with Phạm Đức Trung Kiên. Mr. Phạm Đức Trung Kiên, it's our great pleasure and honor to have you here on Talk Vietnam for the very first time.
Thank you, Lena. I am honored to be here.
In my introduction, I did mention about the visually impairment. And this is also one of a very few programs that we have a special guest like you with the dark glasses on. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this situation?
Yes, I wear dark glasses because I am blind. I became legally blind in the U.S. Nearly 40 years ago, but my vision was going down gradually over the years. And about 10 years ago, I lost my eyesight completely. I could not see my hands anymore. I could not see myself in the mirror anymore. But I was very lucky because I had 30 years to prepare myself mentally, physically, intellectually for the eventual day when I might lose my eyesight completely. And it happened 10 years ago, and I continued to function, to live, work, and play as before. At times, I have to do things in a different way. I don't get from A to B directly, like a sighted person, but I get from A to B in a different way. So now I wear dark glasses because I still have some light perception. If I don't wear glasses, then I have to close my eyes because I could see some light hitting my vision, and it's very uncomfortable. And I don't want to walk around closing my eyes all the time. So I wear this cool pair of glasses.
You look super cool.
So I can open my eyes behind these glasses, so my eyes won't dry out either. Now, what's so unique about what I'm wearing is that this is a smart pair of glasses. Okay, it became smart about a year ago. Okay, I can ask my glasses to tell me what's in front of me.
Really?
Yes, I can ask what time it is. Okay, I say, hey, Meta, what time is it?
And it will tell you?
It's telling me it's 9:19 a.m. Okay, I can take a picture of you, smile.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So cool. Thank you for sharing, because I think many visually impaired people out there, they might not know about this technology, and it would be very helpful to them to know that there are options in the market that can help their life.
Yes.
You have worked many jobs in the past, from physical work to assisting top officials in the White House. So could you share with us more about that?
I came to the U.S. As an immigrant And a week after I came, I worked in a factory making baby strollers for moms to push children around. And only 8 years later, I was at the White House assisting a senior cabinet officer on negotiations with foreign countries on trade policies.
How did you go from working in a factory to the White House?
I had a magic key. It's called education.
Okay.
Right? I was very lucky that when I came, I met some really wonderful Americans. They're just regular American people, but they believe very strongly in the value of education. And they instill in me two things. Work hard and study fast, learn fast. And they helped me get into college after a year of working in the factory.
Right.
And from there, they taught me important values in life, community service, you know, a life of nobility, okay, giving back, making a difference in what you do. And I basically got very sharp weapons for life. I got a backpack full of useful ideas and encouragement. And this one thing leads to another. And I then ended up in the White House through a very competitive process. And it was quite unthinkable for many people, right? But I'm glad that I dared to dream big,
Right.
and I had the opportunity to work hard and to show my true self.
Right.
You will be blind.
Though he lost his sight, Phạm Đức Trung Kiên has always been a guiding light in knowledge and service. He was the first Vietnamese selected for the White House Fellowship Program, working at the White House under President Reagan and later holding senior roles in the U.S. government. In 2003, he was appointed by the White House to establish and lead the Vietnam Education Foundation, VEF, which has trained hundreds of outstanding young Vietnamese scientists. Beyond his success as an entrepreneur, he is a passionate advocate for education. As founder of the Vietnam Foundation, he brought Khan Academy Vietnam to millions, especially the visually impaired, whom he understands deeply through personal experience. Education is the most sustainable path to improving quality of life. For him, it's not just a belief, it's a lifelong mission.
How did you feel when you first received the news from the doctor that you would lose your eyesight pretty soon?
It was shocking. It happened on my 20th birthday. Right.
So just 2 years after.
Correct. Yeah.
You settled in the U.S.
Yeah, less than 2 years actually.
Right.
Yeah. And I was stunned when the doctor told me that, I'm sorry, Kiên, but you will become blind. And at that time, my hobby was photography. I actually made money as a photographer on campus when I went to college. So I was totally stunned by the news, and he told me that he did not know whether I would have my eyesight for 6 more months or 60 more years. And he told me, you need to go and talk to a rehabilitation counselor. You have to learn how to type, how to use Braille, how to use a cane, all of that, and do it right away.
Yeah.
So that was hard. That was hard, and I didn't want my parents to know, because we all poor and we just got to a new country and struggling to make a living.
Right.
And I didn't want to add up to their worries. So I kept it to myself. I share the news only with my volunteer English teacher that I learned in the evening at a community center
Yeah.
with her. I
Yeah.
told her name was Diane. I told Diane that I got the news that I would be blind, and she was the one who helped me get into college quickly. Yeah.
Why didn't you lose hope, and why didn't you, pick yourself up at that very difficult time and said, no, you go keep fighting?
I didn't want to give up because I didn't have that option. I was the only one working in my family. I had one older sister and 5 younger siblings.
Yeah.
Young. Okay. I was the sole earner, employed person in the family. So I did not have the option of giving up.
I see.
So I had only one way, is to move forward and move upward.
You studied 3 different master degrees, and
Yeah.
to me it's unimaginable. I bet it must be very hard even for American to do what you did. So
There's something called the dictionary. Okay. I would go to class with the dictionary in my backpack. Okay.
Yeah.
Both from my undergraduate study and graduate study.
right.
Not only that, I had to use readers. Doctors told me that, Kian, you should not put so much pressure on your eyes
Okay.
because you may go blind faster.
Yeah.
So I advertised on the school daily newspaper each semester. Blind student needs volunteer readers. And I had dozens. Each semester I had dozens of wonderful people who step forward and spend 2-3 hours each week reading textbooks to me, face to face.
Okay. Okay.
I made great friends.
Yeah.
You see, one of them is still in touch with me. After 35 years, she's now living in London.
Right.
She's a scientist, but she was reading textbooks to me, twice a week at Stanford.
I see. Wow, amazing story. I just wondered, since you worked at the Pentagon, right?
Yeah, I did.
And then you had to analyze data.
Yes.
So did you have anybody to read the data out loud for you? Or
No.
How did you?
That's the most difficult job,
Okay.
okay? Because my security clearances was so high at the Pentagon that no qualified reader could be located.
Right.
Right? And every morning I get to my desk, there is a stack of cables coming from all capitals, American embassies everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, that the military officers during the night, they would sort out all the reports, thousands of them, and select relevant ones related to my duties and put on my desk. All of them stamped top secret, beyond top secret,
Right.
secret, tiny letters. And I had to go through, consume all of that, very quickly. Now, luckily, each cable has a summary. So I go through that, and if I want to read more, I read more. But that was daily. I did that for 3 years. I remember after my boss and I retired from that post, okay, we met one time, and he knew I had an eye problem. He said, Kian, how did you do that when we were at the Pentagon? I said, with difficulty. That's no way to work around it. Yeah, that was hard.
I see. But you didn't completely lose your eyesight at that time, right?
No.
I see.
Now it would be impossible. Well, now there are readers, screen reader technology that I don't need a person to read to me anymore.
Yeah.
I listen to books daily.
Yeah.
So,
What an interesting story.
Yeah.
The Vietnam Education Foundation, VEF, a U.S. government initiative, was created to train young Vietnamese scientists at top American universities. In 2003, the White House appointed Phạm Đức Trung Kiên to establish and lead the program. Under his guidance, VEF supported nearly 600 Vietnamese scholars pursuing mainly PhD degrees and around 60 postdoctoral researchers at leading U.S. institutions. VEF's success became a model for the global Fulbright program. After 14 years, VEF concluded its mission in Vietnam in 2016. But its legacy continues through a strong network of over 600 STEM scholars, 200 academic fellows, and hundreds of U.S.-trained Vietnamese educators. This community will continue to be a great source of inspiration and a driving force for innovation in Vietnam's future.
Đấy, cái tinh thần give back ấy là mình cũng học được từ anh Kiên rất là nhiều. Thế thì bất kỳ cái gì mình có thể làm được ấy để mà giúp cho những cái người mà không được may mắn như mình ấy, người ta đạt được cái gọi là tiềm năng của người ta ấy, thì mình rất sẵn sàng thôi. Thế thì hiện tại thì mình advise rất là nhiều các cái startup và các cái bạn entrepreneur ở trong nước để làm sao đấy là người ta ít hay nhiều người ta gần có được cái điều kiện hoặc là để được như mình.
Với cái tinh thần đấy thì chúng tôi hy vọng rằng cái tinh thần của VF sẽ sống mãi. Chúng tôi muốn truyền cái kinh nghiệm cho các cái thế hệ tiếp theo và các thế hệ tiếp theo sẽ truyền kinh nghiệm cho các thế hệ tiếp theo nữa.
What motivated you to establish the Vietnam Education Foundation or VEF?
Yeah, VEF actually was established not by me, but by the U.S. Congress. They actually passed a law, called the VEF law. John McCain and John Kerry were instrumental in creating that law and get it through Congress, okay? And that law would provide $5 million a year to a new entity to be established called the Vietnam Education Foundation.
Okay.
And the mission is to help Vietnam produce a new generation of young scientists and engineers at top American universities.
I see.
Right? And to send American professors to Vietnam to teach.
Right.
When the legislation was passed, I got a phone call from Washington, D.C. They asked me if I would consider moving back to Washington to start a new government agency called the Vietnam Education Foundation. And they gave me the details. I said, well, do you have an office for it? No. Do you have staff for it? No. What do you have? Oh, we have $5 million in the bank. And if you do it, you start from scratch.
Okay.
So I said, okay.
I thought they said, we have you.
Well, at that time they had me. I talked to my wife and we decided to go help Vietnam.
Why did you want to do that at that time?
Education.
Okay.
See, it's exactly, my interest. And it was this possibility of building a bridge between the U.S. and Vietnam, right? At that time, the interaction between the U.S. and Vietnam was basically pure WMIA with some trade.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I thought the two countries can do much more than that. Right? I look at the examples of Korea, of Japan, of China, and the U.S., and I thought, those countries, they send hundreds of thousands of their best to the U.S. for learning.
Right.
Right? And many of them return and build their country into greatness. Right? I want Vietnam to have that opportunity.
Yeah.
Now, at that time, I did not know that Ho Chi Minh actually wrote a letter to Truman, President Truman, you know, after independence in this country,
Right.
asking to send 40
Yeah.
young Vietnamese to the US for training in science and technology. That's remarkable.
And that was
right?
in 46, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right? So with this the idea of building something new related to Vietnam. So I moved my family back to Washington and started VEF from ground zero.
Wow.
Rented an office, hired the first employee, set up the phone, all of that, and then came to Hanoi to convince Vietnamese officials
Yeah.
to allow us to operate in this country and select scholars on our own
Right.
without relying on the system here.
Wow. That was in 2003.
And
So, well, I'm trying to imagine. You had to leave the corporate job that you were having at that time and move to DC, building everything from scratch.
Yes.
You
high
were
risk.
bold.
Yes, high risk.
Yeah, high risk.
A lot of people think I was crazy. And but you know, I'm an MBA.
Okay.
I am a generalist. I can manage things,
Right.
right? And so I thought it was worth it. The risk was worth it. See,
Yeah.
I took a big career risk.
Right.
Again, I took a big career risk when I left VEF. Because a lot of people thought, oh, you're so successful. You're doing great. Stay there till 2018, the end
Right.
of VEF.
Yeah.
You know, I said, no, I'm a builder. I'm not a maintenance man.
Okay.
And I built VEF to where I should be already. It's time to go do something else.
Right. And what is that something else?
The Vietnam Foundation.
The Vietnam Foundation, VNF, is a non-profit, non-governmental organization founded in 2008 with a mission of improving lives in Vietnam through education. For over 15 years, VNF has implemented impactful programs nationwide, and the Vietnam Open Educational Resources Platform with over 22,000 freely accessible academic documents. Most notably, VNF is the official partner of Khan Academy in Vietnam, bringing the world's largest free learning platform to local schools through the Khan Academy Vietnam program. All of VNF's educational initiatives are completely free, aiming to ensure equal learning opportunities for all students, regardless of geography or background.
So what's the difference between VNF and VEF? Maybe it's a continuation because you said it's
In a way, it is.
Yeah.
It's a legacy, yes. But see, VEF is, I call them the Marines. Okay, they land first.
Okay.
They kicked out the door. They kicked out the door so the next group of scholars can move in. Before VEF, a lot of people, both in the US and in Vietnam, did not believe that we could select scholars qualified enough for PhD programs in science and technology at schools like MIT, Stanford,
Right.
Berkeley, Michigan, Caltech. I didn't share that belief. All right. I told my board, my VEF board at that time, there were 13 of them. All right. I said that I don't believe that a country of 86 million people, at that time only 86, that doesn't have 20, 25 top scholars
Yeah.
that can go to top schools in the US. So why don't you give me a chance to try my own method? The key is to select them, right? Not to wait for, you know, people in Vietnam to say, oh, here, take this, take that. No. I want to set up a competitive process to select them. And I will rely on the national academies, the American scientists, to come to Vietnam with me and handpick them.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So we did. Now, those wonderful scholars They got their PhD in the US. They were very successful. They built a name for Vietnam or Vietnamese scholars. Vietnamese scholars at graduate school level now have a brand name at top American universities, right? Because of that, the next group, VEF 2.0, no, first sponsored by the Vietnam Foundation, right? They could go to these schools and say, you give me money, then I'll go to your school. If not, I'll go to another school. You see?
Now they have the bargaining power.
Yes, they do, because they are well selected now, right? And we use VEF fellows, returnees, to select the next generation.
I see.
2.0, right?
Right.
And they go through the same rigorous process of selection, and then they introduce their younger brother and sister to their former schools and new school and negotiate. And you know, American university, top ones, they have plenty of money. They have a lot of research money.
Right.
And they need strong PhD students. And Vietnam can offer strong PhD students, no doubt.
That's amazing. Are there any common traits among them that you know that help them to be handpicked, to be selected, or each case is different?
No. There are commonalities for sure, right? So during the interviewing process, and we interview them in person, we gave them problems to solve in the room. 2 American professors, 1 Vietnamese professor, and then either me or my deputy sit there, listen, and evaluate. And all of them intelligence, you know. I mean, they just have so much smartness in them, right? What I wanted the panel to decide is where their heart is, right?
Okay.
I said these people, they're so talented, so we will keep them. They cannot stay in the U.S. They have to return. Okay, so they cannot stay in the U.S. But they can go to Canada. They can go to China. They can go to Europe. Right? They don't have to go back to Vietnam.
Right.
So I want to make sure that their heart is with Vietnam.
Wow.
Okay, so when they finish, there's a tug inside to go back and help make a difference.
Khan Academy, the world's largest free online learning platform, has officially launched in Vietnam through the Khan Academy Vietnam program by the Vietnam Foundation. In just over a year, it has attracted more than 2 million users, accelerating digital transformation in education. Even in the mountainous Thuong Cốc commune of Phu Tho province, students at Mien Doi Primary and Secondary School have embraced this change, with online learning becoming a familiar part of school life since 2023.
Theo cái chương trình Khan này là phục vụ rất nhiều bộ môn học, nhưng nhà trường sẽ áp dụng dần dần. Và trong quá trình thực hiện này thấy cái hiệu quả nó rất là tốt. Bởi chương trình này nó có một cái lợi thế, đó là khi mà mình giải một lần chưa được, mình giải lần hai chưa được, mình giải đến lúc nào nó đúng. Thì đấy là một cái hiệu quả thứ nhất. Và thấy các em nó rất là hào hứng trong quá trình thực hiện cái chương trình này.
Thanks to the support of the Ministry of Education and Training provided by Khan Academy volunteers, teachers at Mien Doi Primary and Secondary School are now more confident in using technology for teaching. Although the school initially faced many challenges, especially with limited facilities and digital skills, the tireless efforts of the teachers and staff have helped students gradually adapt and keep pace with the digital age of learning.
đối với nhà trường thì cái tiếp cận Khan này rất là tuyệt vời. Vì là nếu mà như chương trình giáo dục phổ thông 2018 đối với các em học sinh thì từ lớp 3 mới được tiếp cận môn tin học ấy. Nhưng mà với chương trình Khan này là từ lớp 1 nên là nhà trường đã hướng dẫn cho các em từ lớp 1 đến lớp 5 để tham gia cái Khan Academy. Và hôm nọ thầy giáo tin học mà rất là vui thích vì thầy vừa bảo dạy vào tin thì các em lớp 1, lớp 2 lên một cái là các em rất là thành thạo trong cái việc sử dụng máy tính. Việc học Khan này đó là cái phần tiếp cận công nghệ rất là tuyệt vời đối với một ngôi trường 135 như trường miền đồi. Nhà trường đã rất nhiều em tham gia các cuộc thi trên mạng, như đợt này là đang cái phòng tin đó, ngoài học Khan ra hoặc tin học ra, các em còn ôn trạng nguyên tiếng Việt, đấu trường toán học cả tiếng Anh nữa, nên là rất là tiện lợi cho nhà trường.
After more than 3 years of using the Khan Academy platform in teaching and learning, education in this mountainous area has made significant strides among teachers, students, and even parents. For students at Miền Đồi Primary and Secondary School, it's not just about accessing a treasure trove of global knowledge. They're also developing critical thinking skills and becoming familiar with modern digital learning tools.
Con thích môn toán nhất ạ. Con được xem video để giảng bài, hiểu bài hơn ạ. Con được giải cấp toán video cấp huyện và trạng nguyên tiếng Việt cấp trường ạ. Tại vì toán ở máy tính con được xem video và hiểu bài hơn ạ.
How do you think technology and online platforms, let's say like Khan Academy, can help improve the quality of education in Vietnam?
What does it mean, better education? Well, better students.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Who would know how to learn? Right?
Yeah.
And that will result in mastering the materials, okay, on their own. They keep moving because they have now individualized, personalized pathway on learning. Okay, so they get there without gap. Not only they can learn, they can teach, they can tell another kid.
Right.
Okay, their understanding, because that's how mastery learning is all about. Okay, you keep doing things, until the system knows that you know the materials before they allow you to keep moving to the next subject, right? So a stronger student means better education, right? A less stressful teacher means better education,
right?
Because the teacher doesn't have to lecture at the students anymore. I always give you an assignment for tomorrow. Okay, it's in your account.
Right.
You go there, you click on it, you see, right? You learn on your own. Tomorrow, go to class. If you have a question, I can answer. If you have a problem, okay, I can help solve.
Right.
But I don't need to go and transmit knowledge to you tomorrow. I'm telling you go because the videos I have for you is all in Vietnamese and sometimes in English. All the homework, all the notes is all there. Okay, but you have to sit down and spend 30 minutes learning it.
Yeah.
So the teacher is using this classroom her way. Okay, helping kids, working together in groups, growing them as individuals,
Right.
inspiring them.
Yeah.
Right? Scoring will be done by the system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Homework is scored by the system.
Right.
So it's much easier, less stressful for the teacher. That means better education. Right?
Yeah.
Parents, same. Can easily follow what my child is learning by going to the dashboard on the system and see, oh, the kid is struggling at this particular unit. Okay, it took my son 5 times to find the right answer. Okay, maybe ask him. A better parent, better education.
I see.
Mình có thể theo dõi đứa bé từ khi nó nhỏ cho tới đại học như thế. Bố mẹ và con nuôi có thể thư từ qua lại kể chuyện với nhau. Ở các nước phát triển, có khi họ thương nhau còn hơn ruột thịt nữa đó. Một đứa trẻ bị bỏ rơi trong chùa như thế, sau này nó làm được gì? Ví dụ như Lý Công Uẩn lên ngôi vua vậy đó.
In the heart of bustling Ho Chi Minh City lies a place that quietly illuminates the path to knowledge for thousands of blind individuals, the Hướng Dương Talking Book Library. From the earliest cassette tapes recorded by its founder, Miss Nguyễn Hướng Dương, to today's vast collection of digitized and widely accessible audiobooks, the library has come a long way in its 27-year journey of growth, resilience, and service.
Thì Hướng Dương là con người rất đặc biệt và rất tiếc là Hướng Dương đã mất rồi. Và khi mà Hướng Dương không còn đôi chân nữa thì Hướng Dương bắt đầu đọc sách cho các em khiếm thị và đi đến cái ý tưởng là thâu băng để cung cấp băng cassette cho các em khiếm thị. Thì tôi biết được Hướng Dương và tôi khuyến khích Hướng Dương thành lập thư viện sách nói, và tôi bảo đảm là tôi sẽ đứng ra hỗ trợ để Hướng Dương làm được việc này. Và bây giờ đó là một cái cơ ngơi, là một cái điểm sáng không những cho thành phố Hồ Chí Minh nữa mà cho cả nước.
Here, teachers like Nguyễn Đình Ân, who grew up listening to the library's audiobooks, are now the ones inspiring a new generation of visually impaired students through technology. They don't just teach typing or how to search for documents. They empower students to access modern applications and confidently navigate the digital world.
Khi mà được thư viện sách nói hướng dẫn và mình hướng dẫn thì các em đã có thể làm được những cái việc mà tưởng như là chỉ có người sáng, người bình thường mới làm được. Ví dụ như giờ các em có thể là đánh Word nè, các em có thể làm Excel nè, các em có thể tra cứu tài liệu trên mạng và được làm, và các em có thể làm những cái bài tập mà giảng viên giao một cách rất là chỉnh chu và rất là chính xác.
Em biết đến thư viện sách nói từ khi em 4 tuổi và sau đó đến khi lớn lên thì em đến đây thường xuyên hơn. Em mừng là em đã làm được, đó là cái khả năng tự mày mò công nghệ. Bởi vì khi mà mình được hướng dẫn rồi thì mình có cái nền tảng, từ nền tảng đó mình có thể phát triển nhiều hơn. Sau đó em tự nghiên cứu và em nghiên cứu đến các ứng dụng AI. Và sau khi em nghiên cứu các ứng dụng AI thì em tự tin hơn để có thể tạo ra một khoản thu nhập nhỏ cho bản thân nhờ đó.
Cách đây khoảng 20 năm thì anh Phạm Đức Trung Kiên ở Việt Nam Foundation, anh có đến, anh gặp các học sinh mù và nói rằng đứa nào đi học đại học thì anh sẽ cho học bổng, anh sẽ tài trợ một cái laptop để đi học. Và lúc đó không ai nghĩ được là các em có thể đi học đại học. Nhưng mà rồi hiện nay đã có trên 300 em tốt nghiệp đại học, 7 em là tốt nghiệp thạc sĩ, 2 em đang làm nghiên cứu sinh ở Úc.
We talked about some applications for visual impairment people. For example, the audio book.
Yeah.
Can you talk more about those applications?
Yes. When I started this program about 30 years ago to help blind students to go to college, okay, at that time it was near impossible because universities could not support blind students. So they didn't want blind students. Blind students, after graduating from high school, got no encouragement from anyone to even apply or sit for the national exam to enter universities, right? They didn't think they could do it.
Yeah.
Right? So I showed up and I worked with a friend named Hướng Dương down in Ho Chi Minh City.
Yeah.
And she had a recording book program for blind kids, reading truyện cổ tích, right? Fairy tales and all of that into cassette tapes. I mean, this is 1996, right? No CD yet, it's cassette tapes, right? And I help her with that initiative, and then she and I talk about blind students wanting to go to college. So we convince one university in Ho Chi Minh City to accept 4 blind students, right? That was the first group, only 4. And they did quite well. One of them is actually is now returning to school and getting a PhD, right? And he's a teacher. He got a master's degree in Australia, and now he wants to go for a PhD. But now, every year, we have 20, 30 blind students going to college, right? Every year, we provide scholarship to all of them.
Yeah.
And when they enter college, we give them a laptop, right? So they can have the equipment with audio feedback, so they can learn. You know, we are responding to the needs of the students, basically.
In 2045, Vietnam is expected to become a high-income country. So what do you think of that?
I think Vietnam has a good shot at it. I think Vietnam has a good chance of getting there. We have the pieces in place, the digital infrastructure, okay, a country relatively good in mathematics, okay, an educational system is not bad, okay, it's not the best, but it's not bad, it's reasonable still, right? So the pieces are in place. Now, can the government, can the political leadership of this country mobilize all of that?
Right.
And with the energy of the private sector to propel Vietnam to a higher orbit. Một cái quỹ đạo mới. We cannot get to kỷ nguyên mới on the same orbit.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
We need to go to the next orbit. Right? In order to become a chip producing country. Chế tạo bán dẫn. Right? How can we chế tạo bán dẫn if electricity is unreliable?
Right.
Right? You know, if you have a chip plant, you cannot afford 5 seconds of disruption on electricity. Even 1 second maybe. Has to be constant, has to be redundant, all of that.
Right.
So to do that, you got to get to the next orbit.
So now the question is how to get to the next orbit.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Okay, we need a clear trajectory to get there. Mobilizing the energy of the country.
Thank you so much for all of the insights, for all of the interesting knowledge, and for your wisdom. I've myself learned a lot from our discussion today, and I hope that our audience out there, especially the young people, will also feel inspired by you and what you have shared. And we wish you all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Thank you for your vision, and thank you for your actions.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that has wrapped up this edition of Talk Vietnam. I hope that you enjoyed it and learned a lot from it. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again in our next episode. Goodbye for now.